So it's my opportunity to introduce our speaker today. I'm going to go ahead and read a little bit about him and introduce him. With over 25 years of having close women friends, being a world traveler, performing on stage in many roles, and years of study in personal development, Kevin has seen quite a few things women face in their relationship with men and other women. Many of these same things appear over and over again, just with different names and faces. Allow me to introduce Kevin A. Dunlap. Kevin?
Good morning, everybody, and fellow entrepreneurs. I just want to get a kind of a feel for the room. How many people in this room today have been in business for less than 1 year? Okay, 2 people. And so how many people in here have been in business for 1 to 5 years? By a show of hands. And then how many people have been in business for longer than 5 years? You're seasoned entrepreneurs. Oh, fantastic. So what I would like to talk with you today is, my name is Kevin Dunlap, and I have actually 3 businesses that I own right now. Number 1, I am a realtor. There's another realtor in the room. I've been doing that for just under 5 years. My other company, I work with a small company called VIP Realty. Another company that I have is the one that Dave was just mentioning, is the one that's called Plentiful Perspectives, where I've been helping people through life coaching, personal development, and more importantly, helping people to become entrepreneurs. I've been doing that for a little more than 1 year. And then my longest company is a company called Trident Investments Group, and it was originally formed as Trident Realty and Investments in 2002 back in North Carolina, where I was doing real estate investments. I moved out here in 2004, where I started helping people do lease options, rent to own, and been doing that for out here in Vegas for 2014. I was over 13 years, so I'm actually less than 1 year, a little over 1 year, less than 5 years, and also over 5 years as well. And the reason I formed the second business is I wrote a book last year. It's called Designing Your Own Destiny. I did bring a few copies today in case you want to order it, or you can get it on Amazon. And this whole book is essentially about embracing change in your life so that you can go out there and actually become an entrepreneur. Now, what I would like for everybody to do is go ahead and take out your cell phones. I see Dave already has his out right now. And I know you already have it on silence. But what I want you to do is turn on your cell phone and go to your text messenger. And in your text messenger, in the To section, I want you to send a text to this number. 40691, and what you're going to be doing is in the body of the text message is type in the words, or type in the 3 letters BCN. What I did is I wrote this last night. I created a guidebook of what I'm going to be going over today, so you don't really have to take all that many notes. So it's a 28-page guidebook that I created yesterday. So when you type the BC into the 40691, you'll be prompted, it should be prompted with a text message to enter your name, followed by a comma, and then your telephone, your email address. You can go ahead and do that now. And when you do that, you should have a Google short link that you should there. You click on that, and then you can go to my personal website and you can download this 28-page PDF. So just to go ahead and get started a little bit, what I'm going to be talking about is essentially 6 steps to pursuing your lifelong dream as an entrepreneur. So the first thing I want to talk about, I don't need a pen here. The first thing I want to talk about is you need to know who your avatar is. Now, who in here knows what an avatar is? And I'm not talking about the 2010 movie. Does everybody in here know what their avatar is? Because one person. So ideally, what an avatar is, it's a thing that business owners are using right now to describe who is your ideal client. If you're at a networking meeting and your client is everybody, then technically your client is nobody. So, and maybe the life coach will can get back me up on this. If your ideal client, what you have to do with an avatar is, and you can have multiple avatars for your business, but you need to know who is your ideal client. For an example, would a realtor talk to somebody that's not qualified? Probably not. Who else? Let's say Leo, would his ideal client be somebody that does not own a computer? No, you need to know, you need to specifically define who your avatar is. Now this could include the age, could include gender, can also include the socioeconomic status. For example, if Brian is selling Lamborghinis, would he talk to somebody that's homeless? No, that is not somebody who is avatar. So you need to define who your avatar is. And I would say the more specific you can be, the better you can be. My business, my Trident Investments business, which has been around since 2002, is essentially it helps people with lease option rent to own. So who would one of my avatars be? Well, I would look at people that are probably between the ages of 30 and 45. I would most likely be looking for people that are couples. I'll be looking for somebody that has bad credit. I'll be looking for somebody that wants to own a home, but they can't buy a home right now. Maybe they can buy it in the next 2 years, and then they also have some money to put down on a house. So I would not advertise or market to anybody that falls outside that criteria. So you need to know who your avatar is. The second thing is, once you have that avatar defined, and maybe you're going to go meet that person, you need to also know, and what I think is you need to understand their behavioral styles. Now, how many people have heard of behavioral matrix, DISC, or BANK, or any of these other? So we've got a few people here. So I learned this through a company called PSI Seminars, and I hope I'm spelling this right. So for those of you that may not be able to read in the back, it says, first off, you want to look at one of two different categories. Number one, it would say, are you a dominant or is that person easygoing? And the second aspect is, are they formal or informal? Meaning, let's say, somebody that, let's say maybe Leo in the back of the room is a little bit more informal, while somebody that's in a suit like Dave is a little bit more formal. So what you're looking at is you want to look at which of these two fits yourself or your client, and then also which of these two fits yourself or your client. So let's just say, for an example, you're formal and you're dominant, you'll fall into this upper left-hand quadrant. And these quadrants are actually broken down to 4 different categories. In the top left would be somebody that has a dominant personality style. So this is somebody that wants to get to the point, get to the statistics, know all the facts. While in the top right-hand corner is going to be the A, which stands for your analyst. This is your numbers person. This is probably your accountant. This is somebody that always wants to know your numbers. The bottom right, which is the informal and easygoing, they're the people that are really, really laid back. In science seminars, they're known as your supporters. These are probably your caregivers, your nurses, people, your massage therapists, people that are just there to help out. And then in the lower left-hand corner, your formal but easygoing are what we call the promoters. These are the people that are kind of like your life of the party. They could be your salespeople or what have you. Now, the reason that behavioral styles is so important, let's say that Brian here, he's a support, he raised his hand when I said this, and he's going to try to enlist somebody that's actually a very dominant personality style. Do you think that person, the person in the lower right is probably going to be somebody that cares about kittens, nature, family, or about their kids, while the person in the top left is going to be your dominant style. They just want to know the facts. Now, if he goes in there and starts talking to about his kids and their other kids, is that going to turn this person off? Yeah. Absolutely. So one of the things you need to know as you're an entrepreneur is, number one is figure out the behavioral style, and then people tend to like people that are like them. So you have to change your style whenever you want to do this. Because if you're an S, you're only going to be able to, if you stay at S all the time, you're only going to attract 25% of your clients. You're turning off the other 75%. The next topic that I want to go into is branding and social media. Now, I'm sure almost everybody out here has their own logos, has their own lines, your little, whatever you call it, the little, what is it called? Your
Taglines.
Tagline, thank you. If you have your own taglines and things like that, but one of the most important things I think that everybody should do, and this is just my own personal opinion, especially if you're a small business, or meaning that you're a solopreneur, or that you're somebody that's has very few employees, is branding. And when I say branding, I'm not talking about the logo tagline. I'm actually talking about yourself. 2009, I won a small flip camcorder. Does anybody know what the little flip camcorder is? It's the little square device about the size of what a cell phone is now, and that little USB connection that came out. In October 2009, for my real estate business, I started recording all of the houses that I was marketing. I stood in front of the camera, introduced the house, toured the house, and then at the end, I stood in front of the camera a second time. Do you think that helped me out over the course of a few years? Absolutely. Imagine this. This is before I became a realtor. I was doing a lot of lease option homes. What's your name? Linnea. Say Linnea calls me at noon. I've never heard her voice before. I don't know who she is. She calls me at noon. She wants to look at a house at 3 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, she said, I like this house. Let's sign a contract. 3:30, we're signing contracts. We're still at the house. She wants to put money down as an option payment to secure her right to buy the house. She gives me $7,000 in cash. This happens like every couple of months. She gives me $7,000 in cash, and what is she walking away with when she walks out of that house? A receipt and a list of telephone numbers. That's it. No key, no contract. Because we're at the house. I don't have a copy machine. I'm taking around with me. So she's I'll promise you I'll send you a contract in a couple of hours. I got to go find Dave, the owner, so that he can actually sign the contract. Then I'll meet with you tomorrow to give you a double-sided contract as well as the keys. All of that was based completely on trust, know, and like. And how did she know and like and trust me? Through video. So how many of you are actually in the room right now actually using video to promote your own business? Do you see a lot of benefit from doing that?
We do. We get a lot of hits on our Google page, our YouTube page. We've learned, how to keep it 30 seconds, keep it short. People don't want to spend forever looking at a video, but they'll click on it. People like action versus sometimes reading. It's just, not that we're lazy, but sometimes it's just easier to click a video and listen than it is to read.
It is, and also the thing is, when they see your face over and over and over again, they tend to trust you. I mean, look at the camera. Does anybody watch morning TV? You may watch. I got a friend of mine. His name is Lloyd Baker. You all know who Lloyd Baker is? Yeah. Yeah, he's the heavy hitter. Right? He's an attorney, personal injury attorney. So once you start building video around your face, people will start knowing, liking, and trust you almost immediately. The next aspect, because this is part of 6 aspects, the next aspect I want to talk about is something known as reverse engineering. Does anybody know what reverse engineering is? Okay, so we got one. So reverse engineering essentially is you start with the end in mind. So when you're building your business, you have to look at it as like, where do you want to be 2 years from now, 5 years from now? Let's say 5 years from now, and she wants to sell, so I want to sell 100 homes by then, in 5 years. That would equate to approximately 20 homes per year. Okay, what does she have to do to sell 20 homes per year? Or let's look at it, there's 12 months in a year, that's 1.5 homes, 1 3/4 homes per month. Okay, she start building a game plan around that by just reverse engineering her thing. So whenever you're looking at business, one of the things I like to look at is say, hey, I want to make $2 million in sales over the course of the next 2 years. Or let's say 5 years, make it more reasonable. That's $400,000 in sales per year. If I'm selling a $2,000 product, how many sales do I have to make? 200. Now, can I start building a game plan around that 200? And this assumes that with this reverse engineering, this assumes that you don't get any better over time. You suck at the beginning and you suck at the end. Now, if you start off by saying, okay, I got to sell 100 the first year, 200 the next year, 300 the following year, as you're getting better, can you build a game plan around that? So reverse engineer whatever your goals are, and then figure out how to attain those. The next thing I would like to talk about is how many people are here are solopreneurs, 1 or less people in your business, or 2 or less people in your business. Okay? So those of you that are solopreneurs, have you ever heard of something known as a self-made millionaire? Mm-hmm. Would you agree, say maybe people like the pre-president, Donald Trump, Sir Richard Branson, Martha Stewart, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, or were those prime examples of self-made millionaires? Everybody agree with that? The thing is, that is a complete horse. I don't know if you guys curse in here. That is complete bollocks. There is no such thing as a self-made millionaire, and here's why. Let's talk about Donald Trump because he's the most visual. He was a real estate mogul in New York. Self-made millionaire, right? Did he hammer every nail in every building? Did he plant every bush in every lawn? Did he go to court every single time without representation? Did he do all of his own bookkeeping? So technically, he's not a self-made millionaire. What did he have? What did he have?
Support team.
He had a team. Very good. Very good. He had a support team. So those of you that are solopreneurs, who's on your team? Who's helping you out in your business? Now, what I always like to ask is, who do you need on your team? And who do you want on your team? Because they also not going to be the same people. Real estate agent. She's a real estate agent right here. Does she have a team that she may not even be aware of? Does she have a mortgage person? Does she have an appraiser? Does she have a broker? Does she have inspectors? Does she have all these people on her team? So you need to start looking at who's on your team. And the most important aspect that most people, and this is going to be a shout out to her, this is going to be the most important aspect you need on a team is you either need a mentor or a coach. 5 minutes, thank you. So you need a mentor or a coach on your team. The coach is somebody that usually has not done it. They can help you get there. The mentor is somebody that has done it and you're following in their footsteps. Now, that doesn't mean a coach is a bad thing. Do you think Tiger Woods' father was a great coach for Tiger Woods? Yeah, would you agree? Now, was Tiger Woods' father a pro golf player? No. Vince Lombardi, you mentioned him earlier. Was he a great football player?
Yes. Well, no, but he wasn't.
Player? No. Coach, yes. So a coach doesn't necessarily have to be someone that's done it. It's got to be someone that's knowledgeable about it. Okay, would you agree?
I agree.
Okay, thank you. And then the last thing that you need to have on your team, you need to have in your business, is you need to make it scalable. Does anybody know what the word scalable means? Okay. So scalable basically means that you're getting it to the point where you can actually sell that business at a later time. Now, of course, personal branding, you can make that transition. But let's just say, for an example, I'm going to pick on Leo a little bit because I know him a little bit. Could Leo sell his computer repair business, or is he the person in the business?
He's it.
He's it. So he may be able to sell his database, but he won't be able to sell his business. Now, if Leo had 15 employees and they're all doing the same kind of work that he's doing, could he sell his business at that time? Yes, absolutely. So when you're looking at your business, can you develop in such a way that you can actually make it scalable? And then when I say scalable, also I mean by creating systems, putting systems in place that will actually be able to help you, number one, make your job a lot easier, and then number two, make it in such a way that you can actually sell it. Now, there's a book out there called The 4-Hour Work Week. And the 4-Hour Work Week, Tim Ferriss has an acronym in the book that says DEAL. That's in there. The acronym, and to my understanding, the D stands for what can you delegate? That means just have somebody else do. She can have an assistant do most of her work for her. And she wanted to train it. And then E stands for eliminate. Have you guys ever heard of the 80-20 rule? So how much of your work is coming in from being effective? 20% of your work that's getting 80% of results, right? What is the other 80% that you're doing? Can you eliminate that? The A stands for automate. What can you put on autopilot? Meaning having an assistant. I have VAs, by the way, virtual assistants, that do a lot of my work for me as a real estate agent. And then, of course, the L stands for liberate. What are you going to do with all this free time, what you know you create? And that's, to me, is actually the hardest part. It's like, I ask people, if all of this was done for you, what would you do? And let's say, Robert says, I go play golf. I go, fantastic, 7 days a week for the rest of your life. Yeah. No, I said, well, what would you do with your free time? And that's sometimes the hardest thing to grasp, is that part. So I do want to, I know I'm running out of time here, so I do want to go ahead and say thank you, Becky, for allowing me to be on the stage here. At BCN is a phenomenal organization. I do have a business card, or actually, I do want you to say that I do have my book here. I wrote this book in October of last year. It's called Designing Your Own Destiny. It's $17.95 on Amazon. I have copies for $15. If you want my business card, actually, I have a what do you call it, an online or electronic business card. So go to the 40691, just type in my name, which is Kevin A. Dunlap, and you'll automatically get my mobile business card. And again, if you want a copy of what we discussed today in more detail, type BCN also to that same number. And other than that, I'm open for, I guess, questions.
Sure, we have just time for a couple. So, anybody?
Yes, sir.
Just real quick, what do the A stand for?
Analyst. Those are your numbers people that, they just want data and facts. And the problem with people that are, and I fall into this category myself, is people in this area have a tendency of falling into what's called analysis paralysis. They never take any action, they're constantly looking at the numbers. Yes, sir.
In your work with entrepreneurs or employees,
Yes.
becoming entrepreneurs, what would you say is the most prevalent obstacle that
The fear of getting started. Fear that, because what I see that most people have is that they are always afraid. They're afraid to take any action. And what I say with that is just start small. Just start doing something on the weekend. Just start getting your name out there. And honestly, going by, I didn't write it up here. What I was saying about when I was number 3 about personal branding, just go ahead and start shooting some video, do some video blogs, put it on Instagram, start getting your name out there. Yes, sir, Brian.
What do you feel for businesses that are already active for further perpetuation of the business and future growth as far as not becoming stagnant within your marketplaces?
That's going back to the very first thing I talked about is really defining who your avatar is. Because once you define who the avatar is, then you start wasting all your time on the other people. So it's just defining that and then start marketing specifically for that. For an example, if you were selling Mary Kay Cosmetics, you wouldn't be asking this guy to go buy lipstick and makeup. You'll focus on women. Or
Vegas.
if you're
Vegas.
going to be selling the brand new gaming consoles, you're not going to be talking to people that are in their 70s. I mean, you start really focusing who your avatar is and knowing what they hear, what they experience, and start figuring out what is it that they need.
Kevin, can you stay after for questions?
Absolutely.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dave.
We appreciate it very much. Ask him, I'm sure he has a wealth of knowledge he'd love to share on any specific topic.